This book is the one I just finished like a second ago. That's what I've said. I finished like a second ago. Audiobook from my library, as I do, you know. So, Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. Here's the little blurb, okay? Is it ever too late to leave the friend zone? Hi, my name is Bree Camden, and I'm hopelessly in love with my best friend and star quarterback, Nathan Donaldson. So is half of America, judging by tabloids and how much the guy dates. The first step is admitting, right? Except I can never admit to him because he clearly doesn't see me that way, and the last thing I want is for things to get weird between us. Nothing but good old-fashioned, no-touching, the sexiest man alive, platonic friendship for us. Everything is exactly how I like it. Yes, good. I'm not crying. I'm just peeling an onion. Our friendship was going swimmingly until I accidentally spilled my beans to a reporter over too much tequila, and now the world seems to think me and Nathan belong together. Oh, and did I mention we have to date publicly for 3 weeks until after the Super Bowl because we signed a contract with, oops, I forgot, I can't tell anyone about that. Bottom line is, now my best friend is smudging all the lines and acting very unplatonic, and I'm just trying to keep my body from bursting into flames every time he touches me. How am I going to make it through 3 weeks of fake dating Nathan without anything changing between us, especially when it almost sort of kind of seems like he's fighting for a completely different outcome? Send help, XO Bree. So this book is, what can I say, rom-com, contemporary fiction, slow burn, friends to lovers, and I've always loved you, and fake relationship. Now the cheat sheet part barely came into it, unfortunately. Oh, this is also a football. It already said that, but this is a football romance. Also, this makes it sound like it was not dual POV. It was dual POV. And good thing, too. That's what saved this book. So I would probably give this like a 4 stars. Oh, I loved it. I really loved it. The narrator, the girl narrator, she made this like weird quirky oops I tripped. My quirky oops I tripped tag. She made that like hyper focus on that. And I don't know, just the way that she read was like, ugh. The way that this thing was written is the way that the book was written. When it was from the girl's point of view, and the narrator like did that hyper, so that was really annoying. Actually, this reminded me, you know what, this is like The Wall of Winnipeg and Me. That book is one of my faves. Fake dating, I've always loved you, enemies to friends to lovers, slow burn. Yeah. And they are blind. Like blind. And I think that the girl is a little bit more to blame in this situation. She just thinks that he won't like her because she's like not famous or not like as talented as he is, even though she got accepted to Juilliard for ballet. So she's obviously very talented. She had like a weird, like when she's talking herself out of being in love with him, she would like always call him brother and be like, it's incest if we were to ever do anything or blah blah blah. Then he was like, okay, I'd better back off. She obviously doesn't like me. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm on your side, dude, because she's a little bit over the top. So anyway, point is, I really liked the guy, and the funny thing, I'm not even explaining the plot. The plot's simple. Okay, so they love each other. They're best friends since they were young. They're both in love with each other. She's a ballerina who has like zero money. He is a quarterback for the team that goes to the Super Bowl. She tells a reporter when she's drunk that which it says in here, that she's like in love with him, or he's in love with her or something. And then IDK, but they have to start dating. And he's like, oh, this is a perfect opportunity to get her to like fall in love with me, and she's kind of thinking the same thing, which is very cute. And then they end up finding out that they're in love with each other, and then they go to the Super Bowl and they win, and he proposed to her right there, and then they get married that night. When I'm explaining it, I'm like, so what was the conflict? The book, as I explained in my last video, you know, it's like the climax, and then it's just like, boy, it just, and I had a really hard time finishing the last hour of the book. Um, uh, once they confessed, and the way they confessed was, so this guy has like 3 panic attacks in the whole book, and the last one's like pretty bad. And she talks him out of it by telling him that she loves him, and he's like, "I'm so rich." Pretty much, he's like, well, okay, he has a legitimate thing, which he's like, how can I have panic attacks? I'm like the most privileged person. I have had every single thing handed to me. I've never had to work hard for anything a day in my life. And so, like, no, I don't have panic attacks. And she was like, you literally do. You're having this moment. If you feel like you can't breathe and there's no physical reason, you're probably having a panic attack. Anyway, then she tells him that she loves him, like, right there. And it was kind of anticlimactic, to be honest. I was thinking, is this the conflict that he has a panic attack? Because it ended up being like nothing. So, now the highlight of this book, the absolute highlight, was the cheat sheet. I told this to my husband once it started his POV, and it was like him talking with his friends. I was like, guys do not talk this way. I am convinced dudes do not talk this way. And my husband was like, what do you, like, how are they talking? They're just wordy. They're so wordy. I mean, they're just like waxing poetic about everything. And they're like football players. I mean, not to be stereotypical, but I mean, they're like football players are like dudes hanging out. I don't think that they're constantly talking about like how to woo this girl. Also, they love her. All of them love her, and I don't know what the reason is. And it's a little pick me, you know. They're just dudes. Why would they be obsessed with her? It doesn't really make sense. I'm talking about his teammates, by the way, which apparently he only has like 4. According to the book, he only has 4 teammates. Anyway, the guys, like, regardless of the fact that it was so unrealistic, and I'm sure that a group of dudes never talk like this, everything that was in his POV that was like them chatting pretty much about her was literally so funny I could die. I was like cackling. I was straight up for real laughing out loud. It was LOL in real life. I was in here cooking dinner, giggling to myself. It's so funny. The scene where they're writing like potential things that he could do this was the cheat sheet. His cheat sheet was the list of potential things that he could do to like get her to like him or to know that he likes her. Was so funny when they were coming up with ideas. I was like dying. You know, you gotta wink, you gotta like brush your hand on her back, you gotta like simultaneously break into slow dance or whatever. And he tried all of them. It was like cute, I guess, but that was the funniest part. Just them, like the way they talk to each other and like the stupid. It was so unbelievable, but it was really well done. And I think part of that is that the guy narrator, was really, really good. Like, he did a really good job of like making it seem goofy funny rather than like, oh yeah, we're football players trying to get your girl. No, it was like goofy funny. They were trying to get her, not like, let's make her fall in love with you, you know. It was literally so funny. I liked the two of them anyway. It wasn't really believable that 2 like 27-year-olds or something, 30-year-olds, are like pining after each other and they're best friends. And like you know, in years, nothing has ever come up. It's shocking. Honestly, I mean, like, all their friends were shocked by it. I'm sure it happens, you know. But I mean, it wasn't like, oh, I kind of think I like her. No, it was like they were both like head over heels for each other. So, but then by the time that they confessed, man, it was just downhill after that. And it pretty much ended with like ended with a sex scene, the only sex scene. It wasn't like anything. It was very PG-13, I guess. But I hate that. I'm thinking, if you're gonna have it, have it. If you're not, and it's gonna be the last, like, don't. We're not waiting for it to be the last scene. I mean, if it's the kind of book where people don't have sex, we're waiting for them to get together and confess to each other. And that happened like here, and then the end of the book was like here, you know. If you like this book, I would recommend The Wall of Winnipeg and Me by Mariana Zapata. Very good football, slow burn. Really long, and the guy was so awesome. And the girl was pretty good too, but that is not dual POV. Also, the book I just read had kind of similar-ish vibes, better than the movies, kind of like that. The Hidden Game. This was kind of similar to The Hidden Game. A slow burn fake relationship would be the Spanish Love Deception. The Love Hypothesis, probably. I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. There's a trillion billion of these books. But yeah, overall, 4 stars. Fun, light read. The male narrator was freaking awesome. Let me find his name. I need to give him some credit. Teddy Hamilton. Silly, funny, fun. 4 stars.